definitely has a religious component or a system. It's not unlike any other religion. It has forms of worship, prayer, selflessness that is expressed in a form of altruism. These components are universal with all religions. Philosophically, it has a really complete system with a cosmology, definitions that define different aspects of life, as well as endless commentaries on the ultimate meaning of wisdom and the truth and the structure around this process. There's more volumes written on Buddhism than all the other religions combined. It's fascinating. It's a very fertile group. There's also a yogic system to Buddhism, and I think this is one of the things that attracts the Westerners, especially Tantra. And it's truly a yogic withdrawal process from the material world. That's what it's about. So as you get into Tantra and these deeper meditation practices, that's what it's about. It's not about trying to feel good or having a good experience. It's really about a withdrawal and the controlling of your energy. So now we'll look at some of this philosophy and how it interfaces with physics and psychology. And we'll start with physics. And there's a set of DVDs. I think it's a 2-DVD set called Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but I strongly recommend it. It's really good stuff. It's very clear as far as what they're talking about. And it's the most cutting-edge presentation I've seen. There are a couple of other presentations that are out there. There's one called The Universe. They aren't even in the same ballpark as this Through the Wormhole as far as the understanding of the complexity. And the basic thing to understand about physics is that they see the world and the universe as being constructed of particles. And these particles can be tracked, and there should be a formula, a mathematical formula, that predicts what these particles are going to do. And all of the forces in the universe, according to physics, have a particle that is representative of that activity. And for example, electromagnetism has protons and electrons that are flying around on the conductive elements and around atoms and so on and so forth. And the weak force and the strong force both have particles that are either collecting or expanding out. Gravity, which is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, they believe it has a particle, but they haven't found it yet. They're looking for it. Another one that's very crucial and really impacted me in watching this is the Higgs boson particle. This is the particle that defines form. And it's fascinating to sit here and think, here we've got bodies, we know these bodies. Again, it's like this gravity, but they can't find the particle that dictates form. It's fascinating. It's really an interesting concept. But they've got these big particle accelerators, one in Switzerland, and there's another one outside of Chicago. And they're trying to break the particles up to find that particle that defines form. And this goes along with the 5 aggregates, one of which is form. Like I said, gravity is another force, but it doesn't have a particle that's been found yet. The next one is dark matter. And when I first heard of dark matter, I kept going, dark matter, God, that sounds ominous. The reality is, I think the way they describe it, it appears to be consciousness. And the way they discovered it is they were watching 2 galaxies collide. And with their ability to measure light, they saw the physical matter stop when these galaxies made contact. And it was like a normal collision. Everything was where it should be. Except that there was this matter that continued on in both directions. And they realized that when they went back and they started tracking the light that was being reflected from the galaxies, they realized that both these galaxies were enveloped in dark matter. And I sat there and I went, well, that's exactly how consciousness works. Consciousness and the object arise together. They have to be working together, and it's this clear, unseen quality that's there. And when I began to look at it from that perspective, it was like, it was really clear of how, that helped clarify how our consciousness works in relationship to objects. All of the Buddhist schools have some definition of how mind or consciousness forms simultaneously with an object. The next thing they found is dark energy. Again, this word dark they used because they were ignorant of what it was. And the thing about dark energy that's so interesting is that it's expansive and inflationary. And that's one of the qualities of emptiness in this sense of the experience of directly perceiving emptiness at the ultimate level as opposed to through dependent origination where everything's interrelated. But the actual space between everything, that state of emptiness, is inflationary and expansionary. And the thing about this force is if left unchecked, it would completely tear the universe apart. So there's this force pushing everything further out. Gravity, on the other hand, is pulling everything in. So these two forces are working in opposition, and it's what holds everything together. Now, the way they see it, you have 1/4 particle matter, 1/4 black matter, and 50% black energy. And that's the basic construct of how things break down in this universe. So if you begin to think about it, you have the matter, you have this reflective consciousness that interacts with the matter, then you have this other energy that's energizing everything. And it's got to be sitting in something, and that something is this awareness that we're looking for. So you begin to realize that it's just a matter of deepening your perspective and your outlook, going within to begin to get aware of these different experiences that we have and break them down the way the physicists are to figure out, who am I? What am I doing here? What am I actually, what elements am I expressing? Why am I expressing? So that this awareness is here. It's here for everyone. And the thing we get so lost in this outside world with our senses that we get confused and we forget about this innate ability to look within and to really see things at a deep level. And the other thing